Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with another update on whether the youngest international master in history will also become the youngest grandmaster. This is the top 10 of youngest grandmasters in history. Sergei Karyakin, the World Championship challenger of 2016, is at the top. He became grandmaster at the age of 12 years and 7 months. You can see Ukraine there. Back then he still played for Ukraine, nowadays he plays for Russia. Nagy is second, Magnus Carlsen, the world champion, is third, and you can see the rest of the top 10 there. And the Indian boy Praggnanandhaa Ramesh Babu became international master at the age of 10 years and 9 months old. He was born on August 10, 2005, and he has up to March 10, 2018 to break Karyakin's record. He still needs 3 grandmaster results in tournaments, but his rating has just recently gone over 2500, so he reached that milestone. I made 2 earlier videos on Praggnanandhaa, video number 83 and 138. You may want to check them out. And this video is about his most recent tournament in Vlissingen in the southwest of the Netherlands, where Praggnanandhaa broke the 2500 rating barrier. Praggnanandhaa was also very close to scoring his first grandmaster result in that tournament. He needed a draw in the last round, but unfortunately lost. But he broke the 2500 barrier, which was a big thing for him. I'm going to show you the game from the second round of that tournament, where Praggnanandhaa played Sven Stange, rated 2140, so quite a strong amateur player. Let's look at the game. d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, the Nimzo Indian defense, a good opening if you want to win with black. Of course, Praggnanandhaa wanted to win. His rating was over 300 points higher than his opponent. Queen c2 is one of the main variations. Praggnanandhaa castled, knight f3, d5, c takes, e takes, and bishop f4. More common is bishop g5, and then black mostly plays h6, kicking the bishop, bishop h4, and then c5, d takes c5, knight bd7. A recent game from Wesley So against Magnus Carlsen was played like this, played in Paris in the Grand Chess Tour event. So bishop f4 was played by Sven Stange, c5 from Praggnanandhaa, d takes e5, and knight e4. e3, position is equal, knight d7 developing, and here a new move, a3. Bishop e2, just continue development, and then castling is a sensible alternative. But a3 is playable as well. Queen a5 from Praggnanandhaa, putting a lot of pressure on c3, and white cannot take the bishop as the pawn on a3 is pinned. Instead of knight a5, Praggnanandhaa could also have taken on c3, b takes c3, and knight d takes c5 with an equal position. After queen a5, Stange played bishop d3. A better move would have been rook c1, and then after bishop takes c3 check, b takes c3, the position is equal. White has shattered pawns, but a lovely square on d4 for his knight. After the move from the game bishop d3, Praggnanandhaa took with the d knight on c5. White castled, no surprise that white wants to castle, taking both the knight on c3 and the pawn on a3 out of the pin, because now he's protecting the rook on a1. But bishop e5 would have been a better move instead of castling, because now Praggnanandhaa gets an advantage. He took on c3, b takes, bishop d7, and here Sven Stange decided to take on e4. D takes e4, and later we'll see that white will miss this light squared bishop that he gave for the knight. Knight d2, putting pressure on pawn e4, but Praggnanandhaa is ignoring this. Bishop b5, attacking the rook and aiming for the bishop coming to d3. c4 from Stange, with a tempo on the bishop. And is white now winning the pawn on e4? No, he's not. Bishop a4 by Praggnanandhaa. Attacking the queen. Queen went to b2. And knight d3. Attacking the queen again. The bishop and knight from black have now infiltrated in white's position, with tempo moves attacking the white queen. Queen went to a2. Rook fe8. And bishop d6. The bishop on f4 is shooting into open air, so white wants to reroute it. b6, bishop b4, and Praggnanandhaa played the queen to g5. He's going to attack white's king. That's a better move than the alternative. Knight takes b4 looks like black is winning a pawn. Let's have a look. Knight takes b4, a takes b4, queen takes b4. Yes, black has won a pawn, because if white takes on a4, then black takes on d2. But white can equalize with rook fb1. I'll show you a nice variation. The queen goes to c3, then white takes on a4, black takes the piece on d2, but then white has rook takes b6. Surprising move, because if you take the rook back, then there is queen takes a8, another surprising move. You cannot take the queen because of checkmate on the back rank. So let's continue this funny variation. Queen e1 check is possible. Then you have to take on e1, and then you can take the queen on a8. Rook back to b1, and then you have time for g6, because white cannot take on b6 because of the back rank mate. So white can play g3, and we have an equal rook endgame. A very long variation, of course. This is all not forced, but I thought I'd show you because it's quite a funny variation. That was after 20 knight takes b4, but as said, Praggnanandhaa played a stronger move, queen g5, going after white's king. Bishop c3, and now rook e6 to swing the rook over to the king side to attack white's king. Rook fb1, white is cracking under the pressure. Rook g6, and now black is much better. g3 is the only move, and let's see how Praggnanandhaa plays this. Very instructive. Queen f5, knight f1, queen f3, and now black threatens to win with the bishop to d7 and then to h3. Bishop e1, bishop d7, and knight d2. That was the idea of white playing the bishop to e1 on a previous move to protect the f2 pawn when playing knight d2, kicking the black queen. Queen went to h5, and knight takes e4. It wins a pawn, but this position is not about material gain. It's about white's hopelessly weak light squares. Remember when he swapped the bishop on d3 for the knight on e4? He could do with that light squared bishop now. Praggnanandhaa played bishop c6, a very elegant switch off diagonal of this bishop. We often see this in master and grandmaster games, switching from one diagonal to another, switching the point of attack. Knight d2, and the last move of the game. Queen takes h2, check. Beautiful finish. Let's leave the most beautiful variation till last. Let's first look what happens after king f1. Well, then there is rook f6, king e2 trying to run away with the king, knight takes e1, rook takes e1, rook takes f2 check, king d1, and rook d8 bringing his last piece into the attack, and it's made in a few moves. But after queen takes h2, if white decides to take the queen, then there is a nice mate with rook h6 check, king g1, and rook h1 is checkmate. A nice checkmate, a beautiful demonstration of the weakness of white's light squares. Sometimes only when we see games between strong players and lesser gods, we see how strong they really are. In this game, Praggnanandhaa really took apart his opponent with a rating of 2140. The game was played on the 6th of August 2017, 4 days before Praggnanandhaa's 12th birthday. Let's keep following Praggnanandhaa over the next few months on Chess to Impress, and let's see if he can break Sergei Karjakin's record. He has 7 months to do it. I was at a tournament and I thought I would never ask a 12-year-old for a picture, but I did. Here you can see Praggnanandhaa and myself. Praggnanandhaa was standing on a chair and he was kind enough to have his picture taken with me. And thanks to Women International Master Vaishali for taking this picture. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel. Please leave a comment, and if you liked the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You also may want to check out my Chess to Progress channel. The link is in the description box, as well as the links to the other 2 videos I made about Praggnanandhaa. This is Rick from Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.